we were not that prepared that they will swap level 1, so they kind of got us on the moment. In game 3, we thought we could do the same as first game and react better, but we couldn't, so the game is just lost and we go next.
Hey guys, it's Pedro back with another interview covering the LEC Spring 2024 playoffs. I'm here accompanied by Sheo of Team BDS, who just coming off of a 3-1 loss to G2 Esports in the upper bracket finals to then go down to the lower bracket finals. Sheo, thank you so much once again for taking the time. And as I said before the start of the recording, tough way to go down to G2 in a manner such as that, going ahead for a few occasions throughout the series, but then of course, falling to that team. So I mean, start off, how are you feeling? What's your initial reactions to that loss?
I mean, I feel not that bad. I think we played pretty well while they had something prepared against us. So even though every game they swapped, so it was hard for us to adapt, but I think we still did well today.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, as you mentioned, of course, doing well in a few moments, and still, like, what do you think was the biggest challenges that the team faced in this series against G2, and with everything else that kind of um surrounded it, in form, um, past matches, anything else of that like?
And in this series, it was the hardest was to like first game they swapped, so we needed to adapt and react, and then we just thought they couldn't do it if we change something, but they still did it. So I think we were not that prepared that they will swap level 1, so they kinda got us on the moment.
What do you think are the other things that they did that kind of made it such a difficult challenge for you guys to kind of um take this series even to the fifth game at the very least?
I mean, I think for last game, the first one, we could have won it, but we were kinda stressed or not patient enough, so we threw our lead, and then they just took over and game was lost.
Yeah, and despite that, you guys were able to then tie the series up in game two. Um, Putting in the possibility of you guys of possibly taking it. But then game three happened. It was a pretty dominant showing by G2, and then game four happened as well. I mean, game three. I mean, what even happened in there?
In game 3, we thought we could do the same as first game and react better, but we couldn't, so the game is just lost and we go next.
Yeah, for sure. Simple as that. I mean, nothing else you could do there. Just go into the next one. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. As the jungler, having to take on not just your direct adversary in Yank, but also taking on the rest of G2. What do you feel, for you specifically, the biggest challenge was for you in this series?
Mm, and this is nothing much, I would say. I don't think I got like challenged a bit because they wanted not to play like to beat me, but like more to put their bot lane ahead and jungler didn't really matter.
Um, yeah, and anything else of the like, any other challenges, or was it just that one challenge that you already mentioned just now?
No, I think nothing else.
Okay, and as a result of this series, you guys go down to the lower bracket. What's the general mindset? I mean, of course, you're coming off of this series loss. Literally a few minutes before the
Yeah.
start of this conversation. But still, what's the mindset like? Do you feel like any kind of nerves, worries, or anything else like for your next opponent, or maybe um on the team's form due to the fact that you guys lost to G2?
No, I think we are still confident in ourselves, and luckily we have a second life, so we'll use it well and go back to the finals.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Fnatic, Vitality, possible opponents. Does any of the two teams kind of Were you anything else?
Not really. I think Vitality is a bit better right now, but we will see who wins tomorrow. But either of the two, doesn't matter who wins, we have to win to go to finals.
For sure, for sure. And taking a little bit of a different direction from that point, of course, BDS. Despite having that winter playoffs kind of collapse at the very end of it, you guys were able to maintain your top form in the league throughout spring and even now up until playoffs. I mean, for you to be part of that team and just maintain yourselves at the top of the league and just continue to fight against the other main teams of the league. Big example, G2. What do you think made that possible for you guys?
I think we just work hard and we try our best to be a better team every day. And every time we lose to G2, we learn a lot. So even today, if we lost, we will still learn a lot and we'll be ready for next games.
Yeah, and G2 has been, of course, a major thorn to your side throughout throughout this year so far, and I think a little bit for last year. I think the same could be said for the majority of the other teams in the LEC. I mean, what makes it? What do you think kind of makes it such that G2 is so ahead of the rest of the league at this moment in time?
I think they have kinda confidence boost against everyone and people maybe fear them because they are like always winning, so people can be scared. And over that, I think they work smart and they do things that are smart, so that makes them the top team in the league.
Like what things? You said smart things, but exactly what
And
kind of
I
things
don't know.
are?
I'm not in G2, but I assume if they are first, they are doing smart things, right?
Okay, okay, I understand that. And yeah, as I mentioned before, getting dropped to lowers, awaiting Fnatic and Vitality. I mean, I already mentioned about your thoughts on your possible opponents, be it if they were you or not. But what's the general mindset now that you guys have another life, you have another chance to get to the grand finals and also possibly qualify for MSI?
I think we just need to, no matter who the opponent it is, we need to take him seriously and do our best and be ready on the day. But our goal is like to go back to finals and win it. So no matter what, we have to win at the end.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not as the same, or it's not your first go around fighting for um a spot in finals in LEC and also getting to the finals in the first place. You've already been doing this for quite a few years, going back into last year and stuff like that. When you look at your progression, individual progression with this team, with BDS having to play in international events and also fighting within the domestic side. What do you think is the one thing that kind of changed the most or kind of improved the most for you in particular, Sheo?
Mm, ouais. uh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe my team gameplay wise, I'm more sharp, I can say, and more confident since now it's my second year. So I have good confidence and think we have good, like we have a good team. So kinda easy to play since we know everyone a lot.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give your team's form right now? Despite the loss, but still doing well at this moment in time in LEC, still staying alive in LEC. What kind of rating would you give to your team and why?
I would say I can't say 10 because otherwise we would have won, right? So maybe I'll go for 8.5 or 9. I think a part of G2, I think we're like probably the second best team right now. So I think we're on a good form and everyone is pretty confident that we can make it. Well, yeah.
And one more question. One thing that you feel the team need to address for your next series, to try to make that happen, to try to just have another shot at G2. One shot or one thing that needs to be worked on. What do you think that is?
Mm, I mean, maybe be prepared to everything and don't be surprised on the day. And yeah.
All right, fair enough, Sheo. Thank you so much for taking the time and answering all of my questions for this conversation. Really appreciate it, and best
Thank
of
you.
luck goes to you for the future.
Thank you.